So we are going to talk about Java operators. Okay, so we'll talk about how to add numbers, multiply, subtraction, and so forth. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, we will go ahead and create a new project. So we're going to right click again, say new, Java project. We're going to call this Java Ops. Okay, and say finish. And inside here, source again, I'm going to create a package, a way for us to organize our code. Say com.magadystudio.javaops. That looks okay. And so inside, that's where we are going to create a class. Okay, this is where we're going to put all of our code. So we're going to call this Java Ops. Okay, and make sure we have our public static void main method here checked. There we go, and there we go. So let's get rid of this comment here because we don't need it. Actually, we're going to create our own. There we go. The first thing we'll look at is going to be addition. So how to add two numbers. So in order to add two numbers, we use the plus sign, right? Just like math, right? So we have the plus sign here. And how you get to it, you go shift and hit the plus key. Okay, that's how you get plus. Okay, well, in order for us to add two numbers, we have to actually have those two numbers, right? So the first thing we need to do is to declare or create variables of type integer in this case. So we can say int, say first num for number is equal, let's say 34. Int second num is equal 2. All right, so we're going to go ahead and say system.out.println. Right, let's say addition, and we're gonna go ahead and say plus, and we say first num plus second num. Let's save that and let's run, and it says 342. So it's telling us 34 plus 2 is 342. Well, that's wrong, right? Because 34 plus 2 is 36, not 342. So you notice right away something is wrong. But it also makes sense because what are we doing here inside of this print out? We are saying addition and then we're printing it out, of course, but we're saying appending first num to addition, but also we are appending the second num, which are these two variables. So technically speaking, we are doing exactly what we told it, this program, to do, except that's not the results that we want. So that happens very, very often, right? So we cannot blame the computer or the program. It's just that conceptually, this is what we intended to do, but yet it's doing something totally different. Okay. So how do we solve that? Well, since we are actually adding this two, because first and second number are numbers, are integers, we are not trying to append them together as we see here. We can do a few things. So the first thing we can do is actually put parentheses around this here, right? So now what we're saying, this will be read, will be interpreted as adding first num and second num, as opposed to appending them together, which is why we got this 342 instead of 36. So if we save now and run again, you see now we have 36. Okay, and I did this on purpose because I wanted to show you how easily can we get into a really, really huge problem when trying to adding numbers and print them out as like we tried to do earlier, right? Okay, now we know about variables now, so it's very important that we actually take advantage of variables in this case. So we should create another variable here called int result, okay, and we're gonna give it a 0 because we need to initialize it. So this result will hold the result of addition between this 34 and 2. Okay, so in that case, we don't have to go through all of that. Or what we can do then is say result is equal to first num plus second num. Okay, so now what we've done, we've said, okay, let's create another bucket, another container where we're going to put the result of adding 34 and 2. Okay? And we have to initialize it because if we don't, we're going to have problem. In Java, you always have to initialize your variables. Okay, so here we are just putting the sum into this result, which will make it much easier and cleaner. As you can see, we can just say result. And if we save, we're going to get the same number, of course, but we will be happy as programmers because we know we did everything a little bit more cleaner. And plus, you can use this result container variable now anywhere you want. Okay, because it will always hold the addition of these two numbers. So go ahead and play around with this concept here, adding two numbers and displaying the result. I'll see you in the next video.